Okay. So this is primarily for yourselves, this recording, but I also do use these, intend to post little clips and whatnot. If you don't want to be on camera, it's absolutely okay. You can even have a dim light in front of you. That actually works out really well. But I do ask that if information does come through, to please have the courage to claim. I know it's hard to connect in the moment. This is kind of an interesting thing that happens. So I want to give you guys a moment and a breath to give you guys permission to just relax into the experience. Take notes if you'd like, but just allow yourselves to be here. We are all connected in some way for you guys being here tonight. The theme I was really paying attention to, and I trust implicitly that things happen exactly as they should, but it requires that we must be flexible. Now, in all of that being said, we are doing so much and it feels like we have less time in which to do it. So how many of you here feels like 15 minutes, it feels like 15 minutes, but a whole hour goes by, if not more? Show of hands. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that is also one of the telltale markers. It's one of the signs of those that are in this transitory place of moving through really rapidly in what I call this 4D icky sticky. Now the 4D at one time was really the place to be, because it was better than the 3D. And what does that even mean? It means that we're not battling with these oppositions, but yet we still feel it. In that dimension, in that frequency, in that density, we are really in this place of battle. So I'm going to pull up the slide that we were working with last time, if I could do this quickly enough. Where we can begin to really open up and again talk about this access point. So I described about it recently, and give me a moment. I can't believe this might be it. I hope. Yes, it is. Okay, so let me share my screen. And here we are talking about, again, the technology of the soul, and again, the access point. The access point is where we are bringing our mind into harmony with our heart, and we're bringing our left brain into service of the right brain. And basically, let me see if I can bring the screen down just a bit. So when we are tapping into this for ourselves, understanding how we calm ourselves, how we're not in these two different places, we're able to get into a centered place where we're not feeling all scattered about. So this access point is, again, the mind, and the mind being very different than the brain. The brain having two components, our left brain analytical and our right brain creative. And then we also have the heart. So the left brain and the mind and the left brain are typically in unison. The mind is overrun these days. Our mind has been infiltrated by another source that we do not welcome. Now, let me quit this, stop sharing my screen. And what do I even mean by that? So how many people here have a voice in their head that you might have become aware of, hopefully, and begin to realize like, wow, this voice is not so kind. This voice is okay, right? Thank you, Katie. Who else? This voice. Okay, now if we are listening to a voice within ourselves that we are having an internal dialogue with, who's talking if we're listening? Who or what is talking if we are listening? And more so, what have we given the ability, this part of that we think is ourselves, okay, but it's not. This is why we have to understand our mind with our brain. The brain is the technology. The brain is your computer. It's the hard wires, it's the mush, it's the bits inside, okay? It's that part. The mind is the observer. The mind is this other part of ourselves. So again, if we are having an internal dialogue and we're listening to this internal voice, oh, look how dumb I am. How could I do that? Look what she said. How come I didn't say that? All of this voice. And then and we're beating ourselves up. And then that voice, not only is it a voice that we hear, but it elicits and it incites chemicals within the brain that actually create this imbalance within ourselves that no longer has our brain in service to ourselves. When these things happen, our brain literally functions in a very different way. There are multiple parts to our brain. At the very, very core, at the very central part of our, they call that the amygdala. That is the reptilian, they call it the reptilian brain. That is the part of ourselves that is survival. Okay.
Right.
Beyond that, we have different greater functioning. Okay. Our mind has been confiscated. If you are listening to a voice that is cruel and is making you feel a particular way, who or what is talking? And we're listening to it. And that voice has now become so ingrained as a feeling, okay, a part of ourselves that we now confuse as us. It sounds like us. There's nobody else in there. Or is there? Or is there? Okay. And if that is, what is it? So when we do not have control of our mind and we are not aware of these things that occur, okay, and this is the system of things today, every single thing is created for your distraction so that you will not seek yourself. Everything that we want, that we desire, it comes in a package. Okay, if I had money, I would feel better. If I had this, it would feel better. If that comes in a package. Okay, if you understand what I mean, it's a representation of something lacking inside of ourselves. That is also to hope that we will go out there to find it, because as long as we are out there, as long as we're out there, you are not in here. And they do not want you here. Who's they? Okay. So there is other energies upon the planet. We can go into this really dark, conspiracy rabbit hole that we don't need to, but that is truth. If you really want to go in that direction to understand that, you can go into a really dark, deep hole. All we have to understand that there are two frequencies that are vying for your attention. When you really break it down, it is that simple. It is nothing more, it is nothing less. It is something that is vying for your attention, because wherever your attention goes is where your power lies. And as long as your power, and better yet, as long as your thoughts are external, as long as you seek outside of yourself, as long as you're distracted, as long as you're preoccupied, as long as you're caught up in a drama, ooh, good. The more drama, the better. The ickier, stickier, ooh, even greater. Because then we create even more entangled webs, okay, that we feel that are binding around us. I know you can feel it. I trust me, we're going to get past this tonight, because if you are here, this is what we're going to do. So I also want to take a moment in this moment that this is beyond just talking. You guys are here in a sacred moment, and I want to honor this sacred moment right here, right now. So not only may we transcend this beyond discussion, may we transcend this beyond so that as we are speaking it, you will feel it in real time. So I ask everyone with me tonight, if you can, tonight I will ask that you join me. I always say it's optional, but I ask that you please place your hand on your heart. Let's all take a deep breath, okay? And this whole intention is to ground ourselves and bring ourselves within. You are bringing your awareness within your body. Bring your awareness within your being. Allow yourself this sacred moment. Take a deep breath within and exhale it. Everybody right now, this is super important to understand that even our breathing has been taken away from us. Our breathing is our ability, our body to receive mana, prana, chi, ki, energy from this vital life force. Everything about our existence has created that we are shallow breathers. We do not even breathe. And do you know that when the Hawaiian people, they will actually say, oh, it is a person who does not have breath in their nostrils. There is a particular term for that. They actually say that they are not breathers. They're not connected. Okay. It's a very beautiful way of being able to identify that someone is not connected within themselves. Indigenous peoples are very deeply connected. And this is what our system has also created within us, a disconnection within ourselves. So tonight, as you are here and craving connection, wanting your angels and your guides to commune and be with you, that the source and words to get there is inside, and I'm going to guide you there. Hands on heart, deep breaths. I want everybody's shoulders to relax. And as we breathe deeply, we need to learn even how to breathe. This is called belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. You have a diaphragm muscle with underneath your lungs. This must expand. And as you do this, I want you to imagine that you are breathing the fullness of breath, all of the God energy within your nostrils. But before we can even breathe in, what do we need to do? You need to make space. We must make space for the energy of which you are going to contain. And may we have intention for that which you bring in, that even the breath that you breathe serves you. Even the breath that you breathe serves you. So with a deep exhale, a hand on the belly, out of the mouth, blow candles. Hand on the heart, deep inhale through the nose, shoulders relaxed, deep into the belly. If you're lifting your shoulders, bring your shoulders lock, bring them, and actually everybody do this, shoulders, everybody up, shoulders back and down, okay? So we're gonna lock shoulders. We hunch like this, and we are not even in alignment with our chakras. We are not even capable of receiving the fullness of our energy, even through our posture. So everybody, okay, shoulders up and back. Okay, everybody shoulders up, place them back and lock them down. And I want you to feel this. Now I want you to imagine that there is a string on the top of your head that is pulling you up. Lift yourselves, lift and erect your spine and bring it into alignment. Very gently tuck in your belly, just very gently so that you're not arching, reaching forward, but just barely gently tuck it in. And if your legs are crossed, uncross them. Hand on the heart. Hand on the belly. Okay. And as we breathe, shoulders up, back, down. Elongate your shoulders. And as you breathe this, extend your belly. Why is this important? You need breath and you need oxygen for your brain. When your brain is not receiving enough oxygen, it is depleting it from other areas. You're not getting enough blood circulation. You're not feeding the cells of your brain to receive the information. When we are in this state of distress and not receiving this energy, not connected to our bodies, not even aware of our posture, we instantaneously disconnect from that energy source that is freely available to you. You yourself, your heart is an electromagnetic, living, pulsing, independent muscle that has cells within it. It is connected to the brain. This is why we are speaking of the access point. These are the pieces that we don't take the time to do. And then we beat ourselves up for not feeling good. And then we listen to that voice that has now taken control because we have not assumed control. Okay? So we must assume control first. Centered, grounded, erected, straightened, simple. Okay? Anybody can do this within 30 seconds and have an instantaneous shift instantly. Now, what are we doing when we're breathing? We're bringing that air all the way deep into the belly. As you bring it into the belly is your power center. The belly is your power center. Now, when you are in a dispute with a coworker, a boss, a spouse, where do you feel it? Yeah, your stomach flips, you get tight, you feel those knots in the stomach because this is the body is the power center. The third, okay, your belly, bringing it into heart. Your heart is soul. Your heart is soul. Lifting it up in union with the mind, and the mind is access to spirit. The access point is all in between all of this, okay? So notice again, and we don't catch this, okay? So I'm going to run through this really quick again because this is something, again, technology, something that we can use, has nothing to do with our value, okay? So as we go through this super quick, I'm going to, again, the mind. We must separate these two parts, the left brain, right brain, okay? And notice what happens when we do. It literally creates this diamond shape, okay? So that you have an opening within and you're bringing all of these in alignment.
No,
so
stop.
You have the left.
What are you doing?
Okay.
I'm watching this.
Sorry, I'm gonna, okay. So this is
No.
why we understand that there is this, it creates this opening, okay? So it creates this entire diamond that we begin to open up. And if you guys have heard like this diamond structure, your diamond body, and this is literally the access point when we are able to unify all of this. How many people have heard of what's called the Merkaba? People will say Merkaba, okay? It's not Merkaba, it's Merkaba, okay? 3 separate words. And what literally means is light in the body, unified, connected with soul. It creates, you actually go into that portal. When I talk about that you have a GodSpark within you is not a thing, okay? You are essence, pure, individuated personality directly from God. You carry so many unique attributes. There's nothing like you in the universe. But the very absence of you would send ripples through space and time. I'm going to repeat that again. You are so important that the very absence of just one of you would send ripples through space and time because you cannot be absent. Now imagine a pristine, okay, imagine if you have tried and been in a motel room where they have those curtains that close, okay? They're those solar blocking. And how many of you have been in one where they've got a hole right in it, okay? And it just peers the sun right through and you're like, this is ruining the whole thing because that one little pinhole will illuminate the entire darkness. One little pinhole absence of you would send ripples. You could not be absent even if you wanted to. The thing is that we do not even understand the power and the magnitude of what we are. When I say that angels literally bow down to you for what you carry within, that is literal. Not even angels can ascend to the level of which you can and why you are here. You carry a possibility within you is what you carry. You don't carry, it's a possibility. And that possibility lies upon us. That possibility lies upon us. But our greatest disservice in the system of things is that they've taken away the instructions. They've taken away what we actually are. They haven't explained it and they've taken it for themselves. What is they? Again, you can go down all those conspiracy theories and you can identify any faction and they're part of it. It's all of it. But the bottom line is that there has been an infiltration for this other purpose so that you would not discover what you carry. Even angels bow down to you for what you carry within. You have a potential. You have an invitation to fuse with spirit that is greater and bigger than you. And if you're listening to a voice that has messages that don't feel good, what is that? If we also have a voice of angels, a higher voice, our inner voice, our guidance of angels, of our light beings, of our guides, of our ancestors, and our higher self, that's what we're trying to connect to, and we're not, you know, what have we given control over through not our unawareness? It's a system of things. When no one's home, guess what happens in a vacant building? Guess what happens when there's vacancy? Vagrants come in, they infiltrate, right? They come in. And so what we do is we guard ourselves. What we do is we understand that there's no fault of your own. There is not a thing that you have done, that you have gone wrong. We just have not been shown or taught. When we know better, Maya Angelou, we do better. May we do better when we do know better. But we have to really come into this place within ourselves. Okay, so it's not the preachy talk. This stuff matters. What we think matters. If there is if the only thing, the access to spirit is through unifying the mind, bringing the mind into service of the heart, bringing the unification of the left brain, our analytical, overthinking part, the part of ourselves that is rampant, and infuse it. And I have not read it, but it feels like by osmosis and infusion. I did see an interview with Dr. Nolte, Jill Bolte Taylor, I believe is that, and she did. It's called a stroke. A stroke of. I'm not going to get it right. I hear somebody with their hand may know the book. I don't know. I'll get the name of the book. She is a neuroscientist who had a stroke in the left brain, and she was able to fully identify and discover exactly all of these things. So if you were actually to Google her, she's got an amazing TEDx talk that talks all about this. And it's interesting that these experiences are happening through scientists and neuroscientists and all of these things, because they have the science behind it to be able to prove both sides, all by design, okay? When we understand how to work these parts, and that it is up to us, this is the hardest part. Now, by show of hands, when we don't feel good, who wants to go out there and breathe? Let's go out in the sun. Let's feel good. Okay. Do we do that? Right? I hope we would. Sometimes we'd hope we'd get there, but for some reason, when we are in these places, it's the very last thing that we want to do. And why? We have to understand that there is another competing energy that is vying for your attention. And this is everything that we are feeling. The first thing that it has done is connected us from our source. Okay, this GodSpark that I am speaking of is a portal that you carry, that is the access point to get to everything that you desire, where life flows. We know where we are by how we feel. Okay, we know where we are by how we feel. Our soul, okay, this is a manuscript I'm working on. Okay, intuition is the language of our soul. I'm going to repeat that again. Intuition is the language of our soul. And our intuition is made up of multiple components. Our intuition is a very keen system that we can develop and that we must. It's not just for people like me or people who've had NDEs or, every single person, every single one of you and me here together, everyone on the planet has this potential, okay? So this is how we get there. We got to first understand. So when we are able to unify the brain and understand these parts, the one of the best ways in which to do this, I kind of lost my train of thought there. I'm going to come back, I promise. Oof, okay, I just feel a lot of energy, a lot of energy. I want to pause here yet again, and I'm literally looking at the image on my screen that shows the heart. So Let's place our hands on our heart for a moment. I want everybody to take a deep breath. And in this moment, as we take this deep breath, having learned deep, deep breath, back, as if you're blowing out candles. My intention for doing this is creating safe heart connection, opening up a very protected space all around every single one of us. In this unified space, it's like a bubble outside of time and space. In this moment and in this place, I am calling on divine, sacred healing. I know that this is beyond discussion, that through this is a transmission. And in this moment, if you will allow, if you want, you can ask for and receive a deep healing within yourself and reconnecting into yourself. Taking a deep breath in. If you feel emotion, it's okay. You are deeply, deeply loved. Deeply loved. It is a love that extends through all. The greater part of you is already safe at home on the other side. And that place is here within. So I'm calling on the divine healing light, benevolent beings in service for healing of all those that are here, to receive a healing within your body, opening up your cells into receiving. And the way that we receive this healing within our body is to allow this flow that I described earlier within the cells through our breath. When we bring our body into alignment, when we calm our mind, we can listen to bilateral beats, calming music, and just feeling your heartbeat. Imagine if you could feel the heartbeat of the earth, a very gentle beat. Boom, 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 boom. Feel it within your own being. Feel the vibrations, calming your mind, unifying the right with the left, bringing the brain into coherence, bringing in deep breath, oxygen to the blood as you breathe deeply in through your lungs, receiving all of the God life energy through your breath. That the very breath you breathe sustains you. Life force energy purified through your breathing. By receiving, know what you receive, that even your breath and breathing is sacred. When you pay attention to your breathing, you create a sacred union with all. You are allowing that energy within your body to oxygenate your cells, to go within your heart, receive your own life force energy, enrich your cells, and it circulates through your body, bringing very rich, oxygenated blood to the brain, calming all of your centers, bringing all of your balance into being, calming the adrenal glands, calming your sense of self. Receive the healing within. With each breath, imagine that light going into the lungs, receive through the heart, pumped throughout your entire body, and going into every single cell. Receive the healing of this oxygenated God life force energy within you. Imagine that you can enter into your DNA. Imagine you go into the deepest particle, into the very center of your DNA and your RNA. Imagine, visualize the double helix. Imagine and sense and feel, or just intend that it unwinds and it now looks like a ladder before you. In this ladder before you, imagine that you are removing one side just gently, and that there are all of these individual steps in between. And every single step is a code of your God being, your optimal essence for your incarnation in this life, in this time. Picture your DNA and your RNA in this moment. Imagine if they are fluorescent light bulbs. Which ones are flickering? Which ones are bright? Which ones are off? Which ones are missing? Take a moment and ask for a light being and healing to help you remove all those that are damaged and blocked, removing every single one, and now inserting it, replacing it now with the God particle. See how each one is infused and receiving the God energy. See how every single one now is vibrant with life force energy. Visualize how all of that energy is within the cell. See how it illuminates and vibrates and becomes a glow. Perhaps you can even hear its life force. Imagine that the other strand of the ladder now being reconnected. Imagine it now being entirely ignited. Allow the DNA to now rewind itself, having received the code. And now visualize that this now be replicated throughout your entire being. As you receive this God-enriched life force energy oxygenated through your breath, receive it and raise it up to the mind. Allow it to be received and feel the difference. Come into this place. And as you sense and feel both of these energies, bringing yourself into balance, now I want you to imagine that you are now facing yourself as though you can see your heart center. If you can imagine that for the longest time, there has been an extension cord that has been extending from you outward, as though it is trying to connect into something. I want you to imagine right now in this moment where it feels like the cord not having a plug. Just imagine and imagine that you're releasing that plug. I want you to follow it within. If you can imagine, sense, and feel that you are facing it, imagine that you're following this cord that is guiding you towards something. It's that extension that we're trying to plug into to find outside of ourself. Imagine that you're going within. Follow it within, going into your own heart center. Go inside, inside, inside. As you follow that cord within, imagine, sense, and feel that it arrives at the most magnificent doorway. That doorway is so unique. That door is unlike anything else in the universe. You can see the light that just beams behind every part of the door, beaming with the light behind it. As you arrive at this most sacred door, imagine what it looks like. If you could imagine what it is made of, what does it feel like? What does it look like? Does it glow? Does it vibrate? Is it natural? Is it made of material? Anything and everything can exist. Visualize your door, the light beaming behind it. There before you at the doorway, I literally see a most angelic divine being holding a most sacred orb of light. The sacred orb of light is a gift for you. Perhaps it glows a color. Imagine, sense, and feel it. And this orb of light is being given to you. Receive it. And as you receive it, bring it within. As you receive this light within, notice how your entire being becomes even greater aglow, even greater than the DNA already vibrating within you. In fact, you transform entirely into your pure form. And as you arrive towards the door opens. You're able to arrive on the other side. Through the doorway, this vibrant life force energy. This doorway is what contains all. Everything that you seek is here. Everything that you desire is here. And all that it needs is to now be let forth. Take a moment. Imagine if you could turn around as though you're facing the doorway that you just entered. Imagine how bright that light is shining from inside this heart space. Inside, you're looking outwards and seeing from your heart. You're no longer seeing from the eyes of your head. You are inside of this heart space, bathed within all of this light and comfort, the support and everything that you desire. This life force energy, you do not need to wait until you cross. It is only asked that we connect to it here. It's right here. This is where it's located. See from the eyes of your heart as you now beam this light forward. See how it beams forward and casts light upon everything. And it now goes before you. This light beams from inside of you, going before you. And if you follow and sense and feel that light as it emits from inside of your heart, you will begin to sense and feel this spiraling energy that is your Taurus. It is a spiraling energy that breathes in and out with you. This creates your own electromagnetic field. You can contract it if you need to. You can also expand it if you would like. You can expand it even further to envelop in this love energy and bring it within. When you are able to feel this and begin movements You'll begin to feel this energy. So this is why ancient practices such as Qigong or Tai Chi, these type of energies are all in assistance to help understand that you are infused with life force. When you connect with breath, when you ground solidly and begin to be in flow with your energy, breathing in through the heart space, unifying it with the mind. And then you are now have the space to be aware from this position, looking from the eyes of your heart. These are your soul eyes. You are able to see things in greater perspective. It's like an eagle vision. You're able to see the greater perspective, a greater order. When you need calm, come here. Call upon your guides to be with you in this place outside of time and space. This is where you connect. This is how you do it. This is how you begin to adjust your physiology and your biology. And this is how you are now understanding what are you responsible for. We want things to be different. Therefore, we must do things differently. When we go in a direction of our norm, may we have the presence of our soul eyes to have an ability to not have autopilot responses so that we can connect to the soul within that is guiding us. Oftentimes you might get just images just prior to inclinations, senses, hunches, and feelings because you are not outside of yourself trying to flounder for life. You are now fully in position. You are now the one who is able to be where you want to be. You're the one in control. And the power is from this place. Then you have all control. Because when you control this, that will not be part of your experience. When we understand this, we won't get that. Do we get it? Oof. This belongs to you. It is your most sacred portal. This is your GodSpark, and this is that tunnel that we all describe when we go through an NDE. There's a pinhole. The room went black. There was a tunnel. It went white. This is where they go. Heaven is not a place that you go. It is a state of your being. We will have a continuation of a vibration beyond our physical. When we are able to adjust into this, it will be a freedom unlike any other, a full release, just like a supernova, a full release into your most sacred essence. The greater part of you is not even here. It's just your awareness that is with me. We are sharing this moment in our consciousness, connected in this time and space for our unified healing. Allow this energy to flow all through your body, from the crown of your head, all the way down through your neck, shoulders, your chest, abdomen, pelvis, buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, shins, ankles, out the bottoms of your feet. See as though there are these micro tendrils that have roots where you are completely mobile, but are now extending into the earth, all through the surface beneath you, down through the floors, all the way down. Imagine that you're just directly on the earth, through the rocks, the sand, the dirt, the boulders, the aquifers, the crystal caverns, the lava tubules, all through the crust and into the heart core center. Attune yourself to her vibration. She's supporting you. She is sending out an extraordinary vibration, and she is calling all of those in service to her to be in unification with her vibration so that she can carry us into this new era. You must be in unison in vibration and in unity with intent to be in this space for healing. As you connect into this space and open yourself up to service, all you need but do is manage your own mind. You don't need to do a thing out there. All you need to do is connect within, and everything else will flow. Nothing else can flow if we are not connected here first. Otherwise, you only skim the surface. For those who are wanting to understand their deep soul purpose, this is what has brought you here tonight. When you connect here in this place and open yourself up in this way, understand how you do indeed flow with unity. You are being called into service for humanity. That's why you're here. When you open up into that is within you, everything will be guided. You will get those hunches. You will get the next vibration. Everything will begin like a fire, one that you cannot stop, nor would we want to. This most sacred fire is what's going to unify the world, but you must unify yourself first. So as we go here in these spaces, allow this connection first. All you need but do is take 30 seconds to breathe. Sit up straight, shoulders up, back, down, hand on the belly, hand on the heart. Deep breath in, exhale out, exhale first. And as we inhale in, bringing ourselves back into the room. As you become more comfortable with this, you can even count your breathing under what's called box breathing, 4 by 4 by 4. Counting in. So exhaling for a breath, count to 4. Holding your breath for 4. Inhaling for 4. Holding for 4. Exhaling for 4. When you breathe, it is a sacred act. When you breathe, you bring presence. One more breath, just bringing ourselves into the presence of the room. Whoa. Ooh, that felt like a deep sleep. Oh my gosh. Okay. I did not expect that. Ooh. How's everybody doing? Okay. Okay. There you go. Just breathe. Ooh. So it was super important. I didn't want to just talk about it. I'm kind of wow. I'm just going to take a moment. This has been happening more and more where something else will literally step in and take over. I was participating in it just as much as you, seeing it just as much as you. Oh, and I wish that I could describe the imagery. And how many by show of hands could see like all the imagery? And even if you couldn't, that's okay. A sense of seeing. Oh, okay. You're feeling hot, Brandy? Yeah. Yeah. Flow of energy. When we move our energy, we will feel this flow. Okay. And it's just breathing, just breathing. No, you are unifying with God in that moment. You are literally absorbing. When I say that you are communing with God in that moment, it's truth. That you are in this field of energy, just like a fish is in water. Its life force is that life force energy. It is that element of water, but it still has an infusion. You cannot exist without your breath. May we know what our breath is. I thank you for the allowance of that. For wow. Yeah. Now, I experienced the DNA healing for myself. First time, I'm going to say probably about 8 years ago. When this happened with myself spontaneously in a download, okay? Well, one, I was shocking and surprising, and that's what led me on a path for I am a certified medical support clinical hypnotherapist. So my degree and my certification is within this. I help people to guide them through their healing, but this was the first time in a group setting. This is the first in a group. It has always only been on a one-on-one situation, and I've only been guided to do these things with individuals. And when I said before that there is a connection, oof. So we are all here for a unified purpose and if you have been calling in for this deep healing, not only within your physical being, okay, allow this to happen. This is yours. What we can do is be everything, okay, every single thing is within the mind. You must be able to see and feel it. And if that cannot translate into the flesh, okay, this is where it is made flesh. You guys all received an incredible healing and the allowance of this, the unwinding of the DNAs and the insertions. Oh my God. They look like these. I was if I could not even, like I couldn't touch them and they were happening automatically. And then I saw that every single one is like the entire body, like all being ignited, like little micro fires within every cell. You have an optimal code for your healing. When this first occurred to me, I had a skin rash. I was 95 pounds overweight, asthmatic, barely able, and I was going through transitions, wanting to open up in a more incredible way, having the courage to take steps that I know needed to take place to change. I needed to leave a relationship that 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 served and served very well, that we outgrew, but we must be able to allow ourselves living, vibrating energy. And the thing is that we stifle ourselves because we resist the very things that we know that we need to do. I was there. I myself was. When this thing happened, it's like it has its own energy. It has its own vibration. If you allow it to work with you, when you allow this infusion of divinity within you to guide you and serve you, it will lead you. It will lead you. It will lead you. It will hold you so close to say that you're not even manifesting whatever you're struggling out there trying to manifest it. You're not even manifesting it. It is already created for you outside of time. If you do this, that will come because you can't get that until you get this. Do we get it? Whoa, right? But yet we want out there. So everything shows us we go out there. So no longer go out there. Let's reverse our engines. Give yourself the love that you seek. That and not even give it to ourselves, because some of us really struggle with even the concept of love, loving ourselves, caring for ourselves, you know? Oh, so don't let what is within you love you. Stop denying its love for you. Ooh, now feel that. Let what is there love you. Stop denying the love that it has for you. It is there. Has always been there. It's there. It wants you just as much as you want it. Stop denying it what it's trying to give you. because, oh, I think I imagined it. No, no, I can't. Oh, no, I'm not worthy of it. No, I can't do that. No, I can't hurt anybody else. No, I can't. And but maybe I'll do this first and then I'll do that. And whew, I feel my dad. Oh, mija, pues que. If you don't know, then you don't know. I want to know. Do you want to know? Yeah, we all want to know. We want to go there. That's the secret. This is the secret. There's no secret. The secret is that it's with you. It's been with you. It's been with you all along. Oh my gosh. We are here. We are here. We are here. So, with this receiving and this healing, allow it. If you can come back here each night and visualize it, I will send you the recording. I will commit to doing that tonight. I want to be able to give this to you guys, and maybe I'll even just carve out that segment, you know, so that I'll have to work on that. I'll send you the recording, but at a future time, even just that, if you can listen to that, ooh, I think I'm gonna follow the instruction here. Listen to it every night. Go to that place while you sleep. When you go there, you'll connect. When you wake up in the morning, you're gonna feel better. And when you feel better, your life is gonna work better. And when you feel and you wake up in that place, you're gonna have life force. And when you have life force energy, you're gonna breathe. And when you breathe, you've got energy. And when you've got energy, you're gonna want to do those things because it feels good. Do we get it? Whew. Okay, who else is feeling that? Because like I have every single hair on my body is just standing on end and I'm even sweating. Okay, I'm even sweating. Okay. Ooh. So for those of us who are wanting the healing of our body, okay, oh my gosh, our bodies are incredible, incredible. You have the instruction manual. Okay, I will do an entire other meditation where we've got a control panel and ooh. Okay, for now, you have a divine energy that is within you. You have a divine energy that is within you, a divine intelligence that is beyond you. We don't need to tell our fingers to heal when we get a paper cut. You know, we don't need to tell our bodies what to do, but we sure need to stop blocking it. And we have to start giving it what it needs. And the first is breath, posture, water, okay? And I really do recommend whoever may not be here right now or may not be doing it. Oh, how interesting that I just said that. And somebody's right about to pop in. Hold on a second. Woo. Okay, that was interesting. What I was right about to say is that for all of us who are here, we need to bring in, again, another way to help this photonic exchange. You're bringing oxygenated blood, again, oxygen rich deep into the blood, oxygenating your blood cells, bringing a higher quality of energy. Make some time, at least 5 minutes, okay? Okay, if you can at least do one cycle of these breaths that we've learned, shoulders up, back, lock, okay? Deep breathing. Practice tonight when you go to sleep, I want you to practice belly breathing, breathing as deep as you can and expanding your belly out as far as you can. Because what will happen with that is your belly will extend without your shoulders wanting to lift. When we lift the shoulders, we constrict the muscles and we literally, we reduce the capacity for our lungs to expand. It's a biological thing. This is why posture is so important. Also, when you're receiving energy, posture is important because you have a chakra system that is aligned with every single part of your, not only your endocrine system, but also with all of our glandular systems. Okay, so our pituitary pineal glands are in the brain. That is our access to be able to see, but you can't access the pineal gland when your gut is a mess. Okay, so we've got to be able to understand how do we work these things. We give our bodies what we need. And I'm not saying go out and I did not change a damn thing. I'm telling you. Okay, I didn't start exercising. I didn't start doing all these crazy things. I started breathing and I started making changes. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I didn't start doing any of those things, but when you become in alignment with you, your body will come into its optimal alignment with itself. Okay, so I had an experience with a gentleman in a coma who had a heart attack. I was invited because it was family in to be able to help with whatever I could. It was the very, very first time that I saw that we literally do indeed have outside of ourselves. We have to understand in physics, we think that we are extending outwards, but all of your information is actually coming in. It's a very strange thing. If you want to understand quantum physics, this is how it works. So information is coming towards, your breath work is coming towards, okay? When I was with this man in ICU and he was put in, induced in a coma, and I was being able, I can sense and feel conveying messages to his wife, who is a family member of mine, and all of the information that he was given, trying to reassure her. But then it began to shift and asking his soul, do I have your permission to assist? And even he's not vocal, he's not giving permission. I had permission from his wife, but there's a way to connect. And what I saw is that I'm just a facilitator. I have no, I say I have no ability within myself, but hell yeah, I do, because I am very, very intentional with my energy. And I use it with intention, asking for assistance greater than me. My job is to get out of the way. My job is to allow what is greater than me to come through to help, okay? We are able to do this because it's not about you. It's not about me. We got to be able to work with ourselves to be able to do this. I'm a facilitator, and yeah, it might be, I've learned how to do that, okay? So working with this gentleman, what I saw was a holographic image above him. It was this incredible ethereal blue. It is a code, and I literally saw it as if it was misting down upon him, and it was being received into the body, absorbed into the body, and received into his cells. That there was an extra additional aid being given to him with this process of his body, because he needed extensive, intentional, and instant healing, so that he aspirated, and so he needed to go through that process first before he can even go through any other open heart procedures. So time was critical, and time was of the essence. So with all of this, being able to see and actually visualize it, every single one of us has this. We have an optimal code for our being. You have, that is what, so you have information streaming down upon. It's like an additional energy. It felt like he was being cocooned in this life force energy. And the only other place that I have seen this, I've seen it in a couple, it's been showing up a lot more, is when I had my NDE. There's like this healing temple of where it's just absolute purified life force. And immersed in that, it actually clears away everything within. It's an incredible, incredible thing. When you are able, there's the dog. I have she's sensing energy. She's a shaman dog. So if she feels, oof. Oh yeah. So she just came to bump. She only does that in times like this, which is really fascinating. So I call her my little shaman dog. She's animals. Ooh, who has animals that I even feel like one, even with you right now, is like, you're just right. Okay. I feel it. I feel like you're even just petting. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. So they see in an incredible way. They see things that they see this world of energy. They are very capable. Okay. Okay. Whew. So as you go into this deep place tonight, allow the visualization of your mind, okay? Our ability to access the unseen is in this realm. It is in this place of energy. We must allow ourselves, and this is why even that sacred text was even put out there, but then taken, like, allow ourselves to be like a child. Why? Children are so imaginative. They understand that they have the absolute. This is an interesting thing. I did a lemon exercise with a family once, and the activity was to picture a lemon. Imagine that they're holding a lemon. So at the very, very end, I asked, okay, so were you holding a lemon? And he's like, yeah, I was. And I was like, dang it. How come you, like, the whole punchline of the whole thing is like, and there was no lemon. And his whole thing was, yeah, there was, because you told me there was. Yeah, there was one. And I had it. I tasted it. So I was like, wow, that's what we need to be. Because that is the place that we must connect to first. We see it first, and you instruct. But you do not instruct by your words. You instruct by your vision. You instruct by what you see. So one of the things that we will talk about is again, so neurolinguistics, Neuro meaning of the mind, linguistics meaning speech. Pay attention to what you say. Okay, so this week, please pay extra special attention to what am I hearing inside? And when you hear that voice inside and you're like, that's not what I want to be hearing, pardon my language, but I really want to say, fuck you. Okay, kick and flick that demon off the shoulder. Okay, quit it from whispering in your ear. It has no business here. When you feel it and you feel yourself there, thank yourself. Oh, I'm aware. Thank you for my awareness that I am here. Thank you that that's showing me that this is happening. Then stop it. And you can literally say, kick and flick. That's what I do. Is like, it's just a little visual in my own mind's eye. Whatever it may come to you, it might be something different, whatever it may be. But in that moment, don't berate yourself. Thank that part of you that brought your awareness to say, oh, by the way, this thing's happening. A rock just fell over as I did that. Okay. So yeah, a reminder to ourselves. So when you have that awareness, be like, I did it again. No, be like, thank you, because it's that other part of yourself that is bringing your awareness. Do you get that? So the more we attune to ourselves, and so we can say, I now retrain my brain. Help me to be aware when this is occurring. Bring it to my attention so that I may stop it. And what do you do in that moment? 30-second breathing. You don't even have to put your hand on your heart. You could be in a meeting and just sit up straight. You don't even have to breathe that hard. Bring your presence in. That's all that's required. And then you will align. If you can have all of this imagery in your mind, you will bring all of your power into presence. And then you will allow this flow that is inside of you, that's not you, okay? All you're doing is going to the door and opening it. You're going there to connect with it. You're going there to receive it. You're going there because that's the only place it is. Start there. Let the rest come. Go there, the rest will come, okay? Now, we also have to be patient with ourselves. When we ask, we got to let go of the need for the immediate answer, because sometimes that immediate answer is not there yet. Sometimes some other things need to be cleared, okay, before we can actually get there, and that's okay. So this is the two parts of where we talk about contemplation versus meditation. How do we get into these places when we're in this? Okay, we open up, we do this breathing, we're going to connect. What do you do when you're there? Anything. Okay, so it's not about stopping your mind, it's about engaging your mind into service. Can I say that again? So for those of us who are struggling with meditation, it's not about stopping your mind and to stop thinking. It's about to engage your mind into service for you. Let it begin to visualize for you. Bring it on to full alignment. Ask it to show you. Picture what you want, okay? But more so, may you feel it. If we cannot translate the things that we see into our emotion. So again, the soul, okay, intuition is the language of the soul, and intuition is made up of multiple parts. First is emotion. What am I feeling right now? Our emotion is a guidance system. You're behind the wheel. You're inside that. Your soul eyes are there, and unless you choose to pop out. If you choose to pop out and see the world from your real eyes, that's on you, right? And this is the thing that gets me. This is why I say my guides always hand me my ass, because I get back to this place and I'm like, damn it, look what happened. And they're like, no, look, you didn't breathe. You didn't connect. And I'm like, I want to blame that other thing. I want to be like, but yeah, but. And they're like, yeah, there are no yeah, buts. The only place is this. Okay, so then I always comes back to, but guess what? Isn't that so empowering that nobody out there has that control and nobody else out there can give it? When we start receiving it, not receiving it, when we start allowing it, this is different. I want you to get the very fundamental difference. May your language change. You're not opening to receive. You are opening so that you may allow. This light that is inside of you is breaking all barriers. It is shining before you like a beacon. It is calling forth all of those energies that you want. It is having everything there and available for you. So it is casting a light out there. And if it's casting a light and you're looking at something that you don't like, whew, then we have another question, right? Then we've got other things we've got to face, and that's okay. But you begin to shift from a different place. You begin to come from a place of allowing. We remove the barriers to what's there. You're not trying to invent it. You're not trying to, oh my God, I pray, yeah, I hope this happens. I hope I'm good enough. I hope I can. And we're begging and pleading the universe to manifest it for us. And we open our eyes. Is it there yet? Is it there yet? Okay. No. Creation means that you yourself set into motion a whole existence for your being here. It is guided all there before you. It is a very subtle connection, but if you go here first and you let it allow, there will be something on the other end that will begin to guide, okay? They will begin to do this. It's not even guiding, it's doing this, okay? Imagine here that this light beam that is beaming from inside your heart center, it is so bright that it is beaming through all of eternity, connecting to the absolute. And in fact, it originates and emanates from it, okay? So you are being guided. We are all on a path back to it. We are like on a light beam, and it is literal, okay? Einstein discovered his theory of relativity and gravity through light because he imagined himself being a light beam through through the universe. And as he was passing a planetary system, he felt the gravitational pull and slightly felt his own light force as if he was that beam. Because why? He was the beam. You are the beam. You are this life force energy. You're not this body. This is a body to hold it here to have an experience in this parentheses in time. It's just a small encapsulation in time. But you are eternal. And there is this force that is guiding you, okay? And it needs to be taut, tight, okay? Like a tightrope. What happens when we have too much rope? We give them enough rope, they will, okay, what do they say? We need that rope to be tight and taut, okay? So when it's tight like that, it is ever guiding. When you falter and you stay, it's a force that is guiding you, and it's guiding you through steps, okay? And we can connect. So this is the one eternal place. And what will help us with this, pay attention to what comes up in these moments, these very subtle sensations, these inclinations. And some of us have, like myself, I held on to a whole momentum of not wanting to make change. So I bottlenecked it for myself because I wasn't in flow with smaller decisions that they piled all up on myself. And so they all kind of needed to be addressed in a very big way. May we learn how to flow with these smaller things so that we don't pile them up and that we don't feel like it's catastrophe, like everything is falling apart because so much change is occurring simultaneously. So we got to learn how to flow with it. So if we are in those positions, it's okay. It's coming up right now because you're here, because your soul is like, what I am carrying doesn't feel good. I'm ready to let it go. A way and a path has been given. Listen to that meditation. I'll send it to you guys when we do. As regularly and modify it, make it your own. You know, you could use a variation of it. If you are healing something within your body, you can, record that for yourself and even visualize it going to a very specific area of your body. Okay. If it is our mind that we are healing because of very distressing thoughts, I literally say that I cleanse my mind, that I purge myself of these thoughts that have hooked me. Okay. So I don't think I have it with me here. Give me a second. Yes, I do. It's hidden. So this is it's a glass marble. I myself made this actually. It was so fun. But the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I realized that this actually was a really incredible learning tool. So I want you to just visualize this for a second, that it's a pristine glass, okay? It has absolutely, it's smooth on its surface. It's round. The most sacred shapes in the universe, for some reason, that are round. There's a lot of, somebody's here is really interested in sacred geometry. So I do, and I don't know why, but I feel that I'm all of a sudden really drawn to, I'm seeing all of these shapes and colors all around you for some reason, which is really beautiful. So if that makes sense. The reason that I bring this up is because it is pristine. It is absolutely smooth. And we must be this way. Okay. So if you can imagine that we ourselves are moving through space. Okay. If you can see this marble and just visualize the torrents inside. Okay. That it's a storm inside. Okay. But on the outside, as smooth as could be. You can have a storm inside of yourself, okay, and be managed inside, and then begin to eject a hook. Okay, so if you can imagine this was a sun and it has a massive plume that comes out of it. Okay, so if you yourself have an inner storm and you eject one of these little tendrils, it now becomes a hook. Okay, so as you are now going through your environment, that inner thought, that problem in your mind, the worry in your head, the thing you fear is going to happen has now been extended outside of you and is ready to take hook of anything outside that is going to reinforce it. So now you've brought this inside storm into your outer world where it is now hooked all around you. Okay, so we've got to deal with our inner storm. Our inside has to be as smooth as our outside. And because when we are not smooth on the inside, we have a gazillion hooks, you may as well be Velcro. Okay, and I mean that literally. I mean it quite literally. We extend plumes that are now capable of being hooked upon anything on the outside. And then now we blame that thing on the outside because it's hooked us. And it's now we're immobile. And we're like, oh, how dare that thing hook me? That how dare that? Look, it's not letting me, but we don't understand where the source of the hook comes from. So we got to heal these parts inside first. When you heal those parts inside and you connect inside, you're going to get to a place where, again, that shit don't matter. You're going to be what I call, excuse my language again, sorry, sometimes I tend to have a potty mouth, but you become unfuckwithable. What that means is a word is aplomb, A-P, okay, as in Paul, L-O-M-B as in boy, aplomb literally means unshakable, unshakable. You want to become aplomb, okay? You want to be that, if that other word suits you better, go there. It is an energy of which you do not allow something outside of yourself to now take your energy, okay? And those things outside of ourselves are there to show us what hooks we have inside of ourselves. When we realize that these hooks originate, then we can actually have full power, because then it will no longer matter what they are doing on the outside because you're okay on the inside. Those hooks will not occur outside because they don't originate, because the hook is, do you get that? This is how it works. This is what happens, and this is what we are not told. And this is why management of the mind is most critical, okay? So this is about understanding the power that you have. The access point that I talk about all of these things is that first we want to go into it with the heart. We don't feel good. So we want and we desire to feel better. That serves purpose. That is our soul's message saying what you're doing, thinking, feeling, experiencing, whoever you're around doesn't feel good. Stop it. But we prolong it because we don't stop it. Okay. We just keep going and then we endure it. And then it becomes a habitual thing. And then now we've even denied ourselves. And then we disconnect from the God force within because we're not allowing that power inside of ourselves to really fully come out. It's a complicated process. Can we see this? When we understand and know that it literally can be broken down into parts like a formula, you no longer will feel that it has to do with your worth. You're not a bad person because you're not feeling this. If you're not, in bliss, I'm sorry, but gosh, don't allow yourself to be spiritually bullied, by those that say, oh, we're all supposed to be in this bliss state because we're in 5D. And if you're not feeling good, then you're not there. Well, sorry, we are emerging. We are there, and we can be there at any given moment throughout the day. Our point is that we arrive and we get there. They say we have a deep meditative experience and it feels good. And then you emerge and then you go back into your day. Into what? The regular other stuff, the storm, the outside storm. Okay. So we don't want to have these sporadic moments where we just have these micro moments of going into meditation and then coming out and trying to, okay, the world is chaos again. We need to be able to shift that. And this is how you do it. You go there each night before you go to bed. Connect there. Set intention that that's where you are going to be when you arrive in the morning. When you are able to just allow yourself that quick moment, going there first. Imagine yourself inside the doorway. Imagine the light beaming and you are connecting with soul eyes. And then you begin to ask, show me. I wonder what good things are going to happen today. I wonder what message I'm going to get. And then you begin to retrain your brain. It's a fun way to engage, like a game, like a child, for it to begin to find another source of energy. Our brain finds all the pain and tells us, don't go there, don't do that, they're going to hurt you, don't do that. So it finds all the pain and we're existing in pain, trying to side block all the landmines, okay? So instead, reverse the engine. Don't even go there. Allow that light to beam within you first and foremost, okay? And then everything starts there. If you can connect there first, everything else will begin to flow. So be like a child, retrain the brain. Find me the good. I wonder what good thing is going to happen today. Commit to this, okay? And if you can get yourself like a little journal, okay, that I've had for years, I'm going to write down what good thing happened today. Because when I feel like shit, I'm going to be able to come to this little book and be able to say, wow, I remember how good that felt. Okay. Oh yeah, I am a soul being. Oh yeah, amazing things really do actually happen. Oh, that other little thing, I don't know what that was anymore. Connects you back to you. Okay. It's proof to yourself. So jot down your memory, jot down those moments, begin to connect with them, begin to have awareness of them, because the more you have awareness of them, the greater and greater they will be. They will happen more and more and more and more. You are inviting the universe and you're instructing it to give it to you. That's what you're doing. So the difference is that is it happening yet? Okay. So instead, you do all of these parts, you give yourself exactly what is needed in the moment, and then it happens, okay? All righty. So I know that this was a whole lot. I thank you so much for this incredible thing, that this shared experience. That's the first time that it was in a joint group like this, and so I'm pretty amazed actually. So thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. Oh my goodness gracious, I am deeply honored. I also want to just take a moment and just, do you have questions? It's so important. There's a responsibility that I have, and I need to make sure that the information is conveyed, that you feel capable in receiving that when you have your next step and feel grounded. So does anybody have a question? Okay. Let me see. And I saw Nika's comment. I used to tell my kids that, but is a distant relative to the rabbit that hops through the room spreading bullshit. I love it. A but is a rabbit. I love it. Thank you for sharing that, Nika. That's cute. Very, very cute. Okay. Does anybody have a question about what has come up tonight? If you'd like to share or have anything. Okay. Yes, Rachel.
Question about, you talked about the storm inside, and so if we can connect like every night well, that is the way to like calming the inner storm?
It truly is. So what happens is that, so again, part of my background is a certified medical support clinical hypnotherapist. It has to do with really creating visualizations and really acts, again, engaging our mind into service for all of this. And if we can create a habit, okay, because here's what happens. Now, again, it's no judgment, but this is the state of our world, that we go to bed with the TVs on, and it's all by design. We listen to all the horrible things that have happened in the day. And then right after the news, all the preparations of the more shit that's going to happen tomorrow. Okay. And then you start thinking about all of your stuff that you did not do and all of the more stuff that's going to be piled on again. And then there's these loud, obnoxious. I was watching Jimmy, pardon me. I was watching a very popular show that was very loud on TV. And all I heard is, you know, and they had the music blaring and the band was going. And I'm like, what the? This is bedtime. We're supposed to be relaxing, connecting, unwinding, having sacred space within our energy, connecting within, engaging in ourself, calling on all the help. I release the day and the worries. As I go into sleep tonight, I allow the rejuvenation of my body. Our bodies do not heal if we do not sleep. Our bodies are able to go into regenerative healing through our sleep. It is absolutely necessary. So we must have these cycles of sleep. My heart is really, I'm feeling somebody here really intensely with heart, really intensely. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Who might be having heart situation or heart issue? Heart really intense. Okay, Anne. Okay. Are you experiencing something currently? Are you going through a procedure? Because I feel it really intensely.
I am going through a like a total life, and it's a heartache.
Okay.
It's a heartache. It's a hard heartache.
And a heart. I feel it.
It's my.
Okay.
It has to do with my family. It has to do with my home. It has to do with.
Okay.
Yeah, all of that.
Okay. Okay. And I was really drawn to you earlier about, did shapes and colors make sense to you when that came up earlier?
Yes.
Okay, very good. You have a lot of support, and I really do feel, and every single one here, as we're going through these experiences, again, we're in a we had a unified shared healing tonight. All of us are shared in this. That as each of us think of our healing, we actually can intentionally, that's why I have this map back here, that for everyone in intentions, for those of you that I have been able to, I extend this, because when I heal it within myself, it extends to you also, and it reciprocates back. We are in this incredible reciprocal flow. I want to reassure you that you are held in safety, that you are held in, and the heartache is for the desire for their healing as well. But we must be very, very careful, especially as women. So I myself experienced a SCAD heart attack in October. It's a spontaneous coronary artery dissection. It's not because of a blockage. There is also what is known as Taksubo heart attacks, and those happen what's known as heartbreak, that they're literally, that they have a heart attack because of a heartbreak. This and our bodies do hold energy and information. So now I understand even more incredibly why we had the healing that we did, the visualization of the healing tonight. Receive it within, because I really felt it so differently, with rather than just concentrating on the energy of the heart. It was about the breathing in and bringing that extra oxygenated blood into it for extra flow. So may we know, as we are coping and dealing with others in our family and in heartbreaks, may we know that they have, as equal to ourselves, a most sacred divine GodSpark. What can help our family is us connecting with our own. When we connect with our own, we begin to vibrate and really function in a different way. We begin to actually transmit from us a different vibration. And one way that can truly, truly help is we visualize our family and our loved ones who are coping, especially with their adults, when they are adults who are in pain and they are really in extreme circumstances, really disconnected from themselves and are in anger states and having lots of turmoil within. We can imagine that, as if we can imagine somebody in this crazed state, that if they are being reversed in age. So say that there's, someone 68 years old, and then they go from 68, 58, 48, 38, 28, 18. Then from 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Okay, all the way down. So that same berated, exaggerated person turns into this, tantrum, first this child having a tantrum. Then it goes back to, a toddler. And then it goes all the way back to a screaming red-faced baby. When we see that screaming red-faced baby, we know that that baby is in pain. Now, I'm not saying that we need to take care of others. I am not saying that we need now to take care of theirs and make their our own. I am not saying that. What I am saying is that they have something within themselves, and this can help us to disconnect from all of the layers that they have built upon themselves so that they can return to their pristine GodSpark. When we are coping with people who are ailing and hurting and even harming us, okay, that may we be able to see them, that within all of those layers, there is something else, that I am going to speak to that other part that is within. I'm going to see that other part, and I'm going to let these layers, and I'm going to speak to that most pure essence outside, and I call it an etheric conversation. So it's a soul conversation. And then you begin to state your piece. You begin to ask and say, okay, I know that they have a divine will within themselves. And the most incredible thing, especially when it's family and especially when it's our children, my son taught me this greatest lesson, that when he was having suicidal ideation, that I was in a frenzy saying, okay, God, I will take it. I will do this. I will take it for him. And I had a booming voice in the head said, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You rob him of his soul's lesson. Those trials are his own. They are there and they are created for him and actually by him. It is not your place to interfere, intervene, intercede. It is your responsibility to know what your role is in it, which is not this. That every time you interfere, that we must have to recreate an entire other set of circumstances to get that situation back into that same direction so that he may have the experience within himself. Whoo, it shifted everything. My prayer changed. Instead of God, let me take it, to, oh my God, give me the courage to let him. God, give me courage to let him. Ooh, that is the most difficult part. Yes. And then just a quick comment. My uncle has been in the hospital because he was experiencing heart failure and AFib. We are very close and I help him a lot. It has been so worrisome. Okay, so again, Nika, other heart, again, we are all tethered and connected here. My mom passed of a massive heart attack. Okay, she passed of massive coronary stop and drop. So did my brother. Okay, but mine was very different. Mine was this feeling of disconnection because of all of this loss and grief. People, women, especially who have those Taksubo heart events, are because of loss and grief. There's literally of a heartbreak. So we must be very, very careful of our language, our body language. Okay. So when we say, oh, my heart is breaking, we're giving instruction because we feel it emotionally and we're seeing it. And then we experience it. I said those things. I had that. Okay. So I know that these are reminders for ourselves, and I do know that mine was twofold. One was because of the grief that I was feeling in this very dense third density energy, that's truth. And also to help me, it like kicked me into, I really do feel that like I stopped life in one place and began it in another. That's what it feels like happened to me. And with that, I had all of these little pieces of puzzles that I've been trying to collect and put together have come together. And it's because of this, first, the intent, because when I don't feel good, we all do. every single one of us. It is a vibration and a frequency. So if you can imagine that there's like ambient radio signals, and if you can imagine like the best music that's out there that you could ever possibly imagine, and mine is not music at all, it's more having to do with sound, honestly. If you're able to do that and help and adjust yourself, okay, we can actually, if I don't like what I'm listening to, I can change the channel. It takes a lot of practice. And I want to offer this up also, is that there is no such thing as I've wasted an entire lifetime. There is no such thing as that. That does not exist, okay? That the only failure would be to not ever attempt it while you're here. That would be the failure, is to not try, to just stop, to just give in, just succumb, suffer, sacrifice, settle. Suffer, sacrifice, settle, succumb. Okay, the S's. Suffer, sacrifice, settle, succumb, Satan. I don't know why I said that, but okay. I'm actually kind of shocked that I said that. I don't know who that's meant for, but it's meant for someone. All the S's. We suffer, we settle, we sacrifice, we succumb when we're in this lower vibration, which is that all of that darker vibrational energies. So when we connect here, elevate here, understand what is ours and what is not. So those of us who are coping with very deep things with family members, just know that as you connect inside and you open up to, there is a divine order. There is a divine sacred order. Even when we don't understand, even when it appears that a bad thing happened, we don't know what is further down the road that it actually opens up to. There is a divine order that we are instructing the universe what to bring into our experience, okay? And so may we connect here and just know that our family members, must also come to this place within themselves. And when they are able to see us from a different place, we offer up a different energy. And it opens up into a greater way, okay? A greater, the way we're supposed to be. You'll have a flow and a support of life that you did not feel before. And that is indeed truth, because you'll be receiving it and allowing it, okay? And again, I want to take off that it has nothing to do with worth. And this is why I really do say it's like a formula. It's literally a formula. And it's a language that you develop. And guess what? It is so amazing because you get to develop this language for yourself. So for me, when I say, oh my God, you see that I've got chills. For somebody else, their hairs might stand on the back. They might have a feeling in the sensations in their bodies, other places. Mine shows this way. This is what mine looks like. What does yours look like? Okay, so as you go into rest this evening, go into that place. Allow yourself to receive it, create. So Rachel, long way. Sorry, I hope I answered a bunch of questions in there. Yes, go there each night. If you do this, it will recreate an entire other existence. Turn off the televisions, right? We have to create what is literally called sleep hygiene. Okay, has nothing to do with cleanliness. Hygiene is a word, okay? It is a medical term that literally means that we must create good habits for ourselves that are in support of us. So when we go to bed this way, you allow all of your mind to unwind and you give it space to be able to open up into greater experience for tomorrow. So rather than it going into problem solving and having nightmarish experiences and then having disrupted sleep, you literally open up into service and it begins to work for you. You can have deeper regenerative sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, you will feel refreshed. And it is a different way of operating. And if you can start there and then literally with the I wonder what good thing will come today. This is where that work begins, okay? Awareness, okay? Okay, and then Katie, I also feel like you might have a question.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yes,
Maria?
I can.
Oh, because I got kicked off of I got kicked off and I just got back on.
Oh,
Well, I did have a question about physical symptoms and physiological symptoms And for me, I have been having such anxiety in my chest and in my heart area, you know, so, and the breathing really helped the practice that we did. I know all that, but Maria, I don't understand all the physical symptoms. I think I even asked you that question last time and we didn't get to it.
Okay. The physical symptoms. So I even as we speak right now, I am feeling physical heart sensations. I am feeling it inside of myself. I'm feeling, and the thing is, and we probably did talk about it, where the location of the heart, okay, with all of this adjustment and shifting that's happening. When we are open in the heart space, we're receiving information, we're really open. So there's a lot of biological changes that are happening. And oftentimes I will feel it like a literal dilation. I feel it like as if my chest cavity doesn't have enough space to hold what's trying to happen. It feels like it's trying to stretch and open, and I feel it energetically. As I describe this, how many are resonating with this, of what this and some of this? Yeah, okay. So there is a biological change that is happening, and it is opening up to. So we are literally being bombarded by additional particles from the sun that have never been available before, okay? They are neutrinos. There are additional emissions that are happening that are radioactive photonic emissions. We are going through the most incredible biological upgrade ever, and also what is happening on the planet. So she's alive and we're all going with. We are feeling all of these upgrades. So if you, I might have mentioned this in somebody who's having arthritis and stiffness in the hands, sorry, like really immobile. Okay, we'll talk about that, Karen. So the healing of the DNA did you just have a cramp, by the way? Okay, so it's just a way to get to it. Okay, so all of our physical sensations, including that of the heart, especially that of the heart, because we are getting these extra photonic energies. Celtic salt is able to help with this energy transference to the cells. It's going to help alleviate this. So the breathing, walking out in the sun, all the water, these are physical, these are things, very tangible things that take nothing to do, that will absolutely entirely shift how your body functions. So it is like we have all landed in a new reality, that we feel like the oxygen doesn't quite work with us. Like who remembers or has seen the movie Man of Steel? Okay, if you haven't seen that movie, I invite you to watch it, because there's a lot of truth within that movie. It's called Man of Steel. Okay, there's a lot of truth inside that movie. Oh my God. They tell you they hide a lot of truth in plain sight. So in that movie, in Man of Steel, why am I talking about this? Well, you'll watch it. It's literally like Superman coming to a different environment, and then we're trying to acclimate to the environment. I know that sounds hilarious. That's truth. We have had a micro adjustment, and ever so slightly, that has altered all of the energy systems on the planet, including ourselves. So we're changing biologically, and then we need to be able to receive it. So what about grounding, standing on the earth without shoes? Yes, so doubling up, okay? So imagine, you don't have to imagine how impactful this would be. We did a breathing exercise inside. I'm telling you, go outside and be in the sun. Go outside and walk and do these different things. Imagine if you went outside, walked barefoot in the sun while breathing. Imagine how energizing that would be. Okay, imagine how grounding that is going to be. Absolutely. And go up to a tree. If you can lean up against a tree and visualize yourself with your roots, it will begin to adjust and help and shift for you. It'll help to anchor our body. And I don't have that physical sensation anymore, by the way. So I know that those are for me because of the work that I do, but I can feel the alleviation of it. Okay. So when we can do these micro shifts, when we can do these things energetically, drinking water, taking a little packet of salt, a little thing of, not packet, a little granule, okay, and not finely granulated, but a piece of it, okay, and then drinking water, at least 4 good long sips. and then with intention to breathe, will shift everything. Then you'll open up for your brain to receive the information. You'll calm the mind. You open up the heart and it calms. Everything shifts. And so we can settle into this new energy. The good news that you are all here. And so you're here on the other, you're here, okay? Which means you're actively in the process. That's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Just appreciate the body, okay? Be kind to the body, give it what it needs, and it will get better. So we don't have to go into panic moments, okay, unless you start to feel other sensations. And trust me, after having had mine, heart attacks in women are very different, and SCADs are very, very different, okay? So be prepared. And again, physical sensations, and so I don't want to alarm everybody, but this is the thing indeed. When we are in heartache and we say these things and we experience these things, they do manifest in the body. They do. So we've got to get into these places, help ourselves, give our body what it needs, adjusting our thoughts so that we don't create that event for ourselves. The healing can come without it having to get to that event. And if those things it's happened, it's prevalent, myself and all around in my family, I get that. Heart is a big thing. And it's all about the heart. And why do people have so much issue with the heart is because, well, being in this world feels like it's a heartache. You know, we have a lot of difficulty. We just do. Okay. So we can do these things to help ourselves. And I say simple. We just got to remind ourselves and we just got to do it. Because when we don't feel good, we don't do it. And then we want to blame everybody else. So when we, like I say, I joke and I say, I get my ass handed back to me and say, okay, if you want to feel better, then you do it. Okay. There I go. And then I always feel better. All righty. So be fun. It's got to be light. We got to be light. We have got to be light. Okay. And what I mean by I'm not like this new agey woo woo. I'm talking about be like a kid. Be like a kid and have fun. Lighten your heart. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that to pop out. That's what's being called for. We're asking to lighten our hearts. Be childlike. Be more playful. Don't be so serious. Give ourselves a little bit more of a break. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. The greater part of ourselves is on the other side. So when you go to bed at night, you connect to that greater part of yourself. So that when you wake up in the morning, you'll have more of you available to serve you through your day. Okay? So go there, get more of you, allow that light to shine, and your day will be better. So, yes.
Maria, I just have a question about, do you do this once a week? I couldn't figure out on your website.
I do.
Oh, so you can sign it, it's weekly. You have to go to each week.
It is. And what I'm trying to do is I thought that these would be, and they're developing into like work groups. So like, I love the community that we are starting to come together and we're like regulars. So what I really do feel that I'm going to shift into is actually having this as a regular thing rather than as a hit and miss. Because originally it was like we would have these events and people would ask questions, but now it's kind of I am allowing it to guide itself of what it's supposed to be and how it's evolving. And so, yes, it is weekly. So for right now, in the immediate moment, the only way to do it is to select each one, but I will be shifting. I don't know if it's funny that I don't even promote myself. I've been invited to be the moderator for the mediumship panel of the International Association of Near-Death Studies. That's going to be on August 30th, which is my birthday. I've got a huge amount of work, so I thank you for your patience as I'm working through all of this. But after that shift, once that opens, I plan to have groups, steady, regular groups that you sign up once and it's a full 6 week, we all come together and we have additional community sharing. So it's going to open up more where you guys ask questions, and then you guys can partner, like have, like one of the most incredible ways to open is to share. If you can't share what's happening inside and to get these hits, so I want communities to be able to come and engage. So that's what I'm really, really looking forward to build. So I thank you for being here while it is being built, because you're walking a bridge with me while the bridge is being built. It's safe, okay? It's solid on the other side. I'm off the bridge. So this is being built. I thank you for being here. So yeah, it's going to happen on a regular thing. And so we have a group and a community. So we don't, it's our growth happens when we can build one upon the other. Okay, and not only build one concept upon the other, but where we can uplift the other. And that's what I want to do. Okay, so thank you, everybody. I thank you so much for being here, for allowing me. And I'm sorry that it was delayed by a half hour, and I'm not sorry that it was extended by. So I apologize if you're running behind, and I appreciate you being here. I know that time zones. Oh, that was interesting. Something literally just flew right through my hair. Okay, so I'm going to take that as a sign. Oof. All right, interesting. Okay, so may we all get deep rest. Go to that most sacred place and just see. Just let yourself be playful. Okay, let it be fun. Oh, it's not worth it if it ain't fun. If it's not worth it if it's not fun. Right? So let's have a little bit of fun while we're doing this. All righty. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Maria.
thank you, thank you. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank
All
you.
righty. All righty.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you,
Bye.
thank you.